Stepping in from the weather, I see.
The good folks shook, the bad folks sighed, and told this tale to me. Dead, so many dead, from Daggerfall to Doom. It was the slug plague, they said, and blamed the slope for our rule. Our rulers cried out that all was lost, out the end was in. They ordered a ship and raised the sails, and sailors began to sing. The All Flags, was led by the Anvil King. Of the ships and sailors we sing the All Flags. They found
Yes! Are we going to race?
It's a shame the Ascendant Order got to Lord Baccaro's retainers before you could. What could they have seen that warranted their deaths? Perhaps we'll learn more at Castle Navir, although I'm certainly not in the mood for a party. And our missing guests of honor will no doubt be the main topic of discussion. This is a chance to listen, as well as ask questions. Make sure you speak to Alea Dufort, Demar Dufort, and John Menard. They'll be the most important nobles present. Until we know more, I suspect everybody. But if any of the nobles are funding the Ascendant Order, I think it likely that it's one of the grand families of High Isle. That means House Dufort or House Menard. Either way, we'll know more soon. Alea is the Duchess of House Duford and nominal ruler of High Isle. Damard is her brother and a count. John Menard is the highest-ranking noble of House Menard, currently on High Isle. He's Count Leonard's cousin, representing house interests here.
I'm busy. Very busy.
You were amazing! Nice find. I'm like a good luck charm, aren't I? Want to die? I know this is supposed to be relaxing, but I just want to dive in there and grab the fish with my hands. How do you stay so still? Yes! Are we going to race?
I heard the daughter is so distraught she's refusing to leave her rooms. So exciting.
Scandalous. No doubt Isabel is beside herself. Poor girls.
What brings you to our tourney grounds here at Castle Navir? Oh, never mind that. Have you heard the latest? The Knight Commander has offered her daughter's hand in marriage to the Sapphire tourney winner. Everyone's aghast. Well, Aurelia has been the most desirable hand on High Isle for years, but no one thought she'd ever commit to a match. Seems the Commander has forced the issue. Oh, no, that would be a slap in the face to her mother. And Aurelia is such a good girl. More scandal. Her friend Isabel is a participant in the tourney. She's sworn to free Aurelia from her mother's promise. I can't wait to find out what happens. If you help Isabel win the tournament, she could agree to marry Aurelia, then free her from the shortest engagement in history. Delicious!
What do you want?
Don't worry, sweetheart. I'll figure something out. I always do. I'm sorry, this isn't the best time. My friend Aurelia has a bit of a problem. Her mother has promised her hand in marriage, and I need to get her out of it. Somehow. Actually, you look quite capable. Would you mind lending me a hand? Apologies. My name is Isabelle Valois. I'm an aspirant in the Sapphire Tourney, a proving ground for squires looking to join the knightly orders. Aurelia's mother is Knight Commander, and, brashly offered her daughter's hand as a prize. Well, normally, aspirants only compete in one of the trials. If I can win all three, the Knight Commander will be compelled to grant a boon of my choosing. I can free Aurelia from her mother's promise. What do you say? Will you be my second? The 8 must have me in their hearts. My second just left my service, and here I was thinking I'd have to do it alone. All right, there are 3 knightly orders here on the Isle. Let's decide what task to tackle first. The people of the Sisters take pride in our knights, the same as anywhere in High Rock. The Sapphire Tourney hosts 3 orders: the Iron Knot, the Oaken Order, and the Order of the Albatross. They're martial warriors and excellent to horse. You might say the Iron Knot is the most traditional of the Sapphire Orders. Our trial will be to find the hilt from a lost sword called Redheart. It was the blade of the first Duke Dufort. Somewhere on these lands, before they belonged to the Duforts, the hilt supposedly had a massive rough-cut ruby in it. Should be easy to spot. My last squire, Burjo, suggested we hit the castle library to get an idea of where to start looking. 8 above help me. They're artists and sailors, singers, bards, and pirates all. Brave, swashbuckling warriors that make you recite poetry. Ghastly stuff. No, thankfully. Our trial will be to reclaim the gilded loot of Captain Brenvale. The story goes that he went down into the castle crypts years ago, hoping to use song and steel to subdue a spirit. He never returned. Hopefully we'll do better. Oaken Knights tend to be battle mages, conjurers, and support spellcasters. Their power stems from High Isle's strong tradition of druidic magic. Our trial will be to convince an elder to give us a staff, a symbol of their order. I'm guessing it won't be that straightforward, but who knows? There's a way shrine near the Coral River to the east. I'll meet you there, and we can make for the site of the trial. I'm no mage, but I think I might have a leg up here. Either way, it's going to make for a good story. That way shrine near the Coral River is our starting point. I'll see you there. I'll meet you near the old way shrine just up the road.
You're going to help us. Oh, the 8 bless you.
thought I heard Sneg yelling in the distance. He's another aspirant and a complete donkey's arse. Never mind him. We're on a quest. So we have a bit of a leg up on this one. The Elder is a wizard named Erlebrew. He's actually a friend of my father's. He used to tell me stories when I was young. Funny little man. I would never. Stealing is, well, unknightly. Knowing Erlebrew, the challenge will be more about thinking and reason than magic or subterfuge. Right. If I remember correctly, I think he lives in a little grotto to the south, near the coast. He likes his privacy, our Oaken Elder. I suppose in the stories, knights are usually all swords and glory, but the druids have been here forever, practically. Every kid in the Sisters grows up knowing a little bit about runes and nature and the true way. I think they used to be, but no, these days anyone can join. Even non-mages who want to learn the ways of Ifre. Just another...
Magister Irin never let me watch him do this. It's so interesting.
Damn. Sneg and Brelinald beat us here.
Get behind me, squires! Sneg was here first! Ha!
We arrived at the same time, you simpering buffoon.
Well, you're still too late. A wizard's magic is no match for the strength and honor of this aspirant. For honor!
Alright. Seems like the direct approach won't work here.
I'm sure I can get this barrier open.
Elder doesn't go easy on aspirants, it seems. I think the trick to this is the pillars themselves. Look at that branch there. Representing Spriggans, maybe? A bird. Looks like a forest heron, perhaps. Cat's paw. That old man. I know exactly how to bring down the barrier. He's lifted the pillars and the symbols from a story he told me as a child. Almost exactly. A wise old sage puts up a barrier around his home. He's trying to protect a little girl he's raising from a fearsome dark knight. She grows up to be a mighty warrior, but the sage makes her figure a way out of the sacred grove. In the tale, the symbols on the pillars held the key. Like the cat there. A cat's paw is a pretty little flower that grows in shady forests. And that bird looks like a forest heron. I'd bet anything we need one of their feathers. I've seen it before. It's a druidic symbol for Spriggans. In the tale, she befriended one that lived in the grove. She wore a Spriggan's veil, a wreath of leaves they shed every year. Here, if you can find the items, I'll guard our spot.
this? Incredible!
You're back, carrying feathers and branches and flowers, I hope. A Spriggan's Veil, powerful symbolism. Majestic birds, right up until you're cleaning scat off the docks. That did it! Can you talk to him? I'm all sweaty.
Oh, hello then. Figured out my barrier, did you? And is that little Izzy I see back there? Oh, yes. I hoped it would be her. She remembered the tale of Myriad la Courageuse, eh? So nice you two could come out there. Usually it's just me and the forest spirits these days. Of course not. Solve the puzzle, take the staff. That's the idea, right? What's out back leaning against a cottage? Enjoying good health, second. Off you go then, and be careful where you put that thing. That staff's like me. It might be old, but it can still zap the ears off a rabbit if you aren't careful. Oh, no, that would be wildly inappropriate. I pulled this challenge directly from the pages of one of my favorite books. Who can blame me? I'm a daffy old wizard. Come here, lass. Don't need to dawdle near the door like you're still a squire.
Thank you, you old goat. Still thinking of me all these years later.
doing something with magic-y?
We've got the staff. The moment I heard Erlebrew was representing the Order, I knew we might have a shot. Well done. I am. Those stories Erlebrew told me when I was little, they're a part of why I'm in the tourney today. And I won't lie, it's nice to know he still cares about me. Strange, lovely man. Let's move on. Eight above help me. They're artists and sailors, singers, bards, and... No, thankfully. Our trial will be to reclaim the gilded loot of Captain...
Hello? Isabel?
Aurelia, what are you doing here?
Don't be annoyed. I, did sort of follow along.
I'll catch up to you. I want to talk to Aurelia, make sure she's all right. Of all the sneaky, dishonest... We've got a small hitch in this rope. The key to the Catacombs entrance is usually right near the door. But someone took it. Drake, I hope not. The idea of aspirants trying to directly sabotage each other doesn't sit well with me. And I see that look in your eye. No lockpicking. But buff my plates, we still need that key. Yes, let's split up. I'll go speak to the castle stewards, and you head for the offices of the Knight Commander. We can meet back here. Stendar willing, one of us will have some luck. I still can't believe someone took the key. So childish. I bet it's Morton's. Morton's. I mean, they're not real pirates. They're knights who ride the waves instead of horses. And sing. By the gods, do they sing. There's an old joke around the castle that they're called the Order of the Albatross because they're so damned loud. Yes, a golden lute. The story goes that some years back, the head of the Order, Sir Brenvale, went down to clear the catacombs of a mad spirit. I think it was some Dufort noble? I'm not sure who, but Sir Brenvale never returned. I'll be honest, this is one order I'm not likely to join. They're an odd group. But it kind of makes sense. Just think of them as something like chivalric bards. They're constantly on the hunt for new adventures, new tales to tell. Let's meet back inside the chapel. The Catacombs Entrance is down the stairs.
Oh, Mother. Thank you for assisting Isabel. I'm so grateful to you both. Aspirant Mortons came by not that long ago and told me he already had a honeymoon trip planned. The audacity. Oh, one of the other knights probably took it or hid it. Cheating! Isabel will not like that. One of my mother's aides might have one. It's good she sent you to ask, though. Best she avoids the Night's Wing for now. She and I have been friends since we were very young. Knowing Izzy, she'll want to avoid even rumors she appealed to my mother for help. I'd start by asking Dame Hendra. Nilsman might have a key as well.
If you don't have an appointment to meet with Commander Jorvel, make one. She's busy, as am I. The Nord over there can make the appointment for you, if he's not writing that god's-awful poetry at the moment. And I'm looking for a posting more interesting than pushing papers for Knight Commander Jorvel, or playing politics with snooty nobles. Tell me, why should I give a key to the first peasant who comes... A bribe? How unexpected. Most people I have to deal with would rather get snippy and tell the commander about how rude I am. All because I can't be arsed to be obsequious. Refreshing. Here's a key. Try not to get killed down there.
I saw you talking to her. Isn't her voice beautiful?
All hail Queen Isolde, ruler of Shornhelm. May her wisdom and beauty guide us for years to come. I could use a break.
Better luck than I did. The stewards were no help at all. Alright, let's see if we can find that fancy loot. Sir Brenvale probably made it deep into the crypts. These catacombs have been built up over generations. Might be a bit twisty down here. Valois, Mortons. I'm here with my second. We'll try to help you.
Whoever you are, I was here first. You gotta hang back. Attorney honor demands it. No, I'm hiding. I'm a bit of a feared spider, you see. In my defense, I made it past a bunch of the smaller ones, but I lost my nerve and just a moment. You won't get very far without the key to the Deep Crypt, which I just happen to have. Ha! I tell you what, when that thing surprised me, I may have dropped my sword. Return it to me and I'll slip you the key. What do you think? Guys, it's such a pity to have to pull up on this task. Lady Bellion was a treasure. Lovely to look at. It was so romantic.
Don't underestimate that. You're a spider. Please leave. We found your sword, Mortons. My second will pass it to you.
Oh, you're back. How lovely. Did you manage to find my sword? Ah, very good. You know, I've always said that Isabel was a fair hand. Never doubted you for a moment. Here's your key. The door to the Deep Crypt should be off the main. Yes, well, we're both sporting. Well done all around. And perhaps you won't mention this when telling the tale of your trial? There. That's well played. Good luck to you both.
They say that Sir Brenvale died at the hands of a ghost.
My magic
The old Mad Duke. Gives me the shivers.
I'll take your fingers! Vengeance for mother's treachery!
Look! I think that's the loot! We've got it! Drake, let's get out of here.
Love! At last, someone retrieved my gilded loot. Come, follow me, away from this place. That ghastly mad spirit may return anon. Hark, I shall serenade you on your way. Oh, Sir Brenvale did enter these halls with a heart full of song. La, it did not take him long to hear the spirit's calls. Oh! He met the Mad Duke in combat, oh-ho! And they danced with swords all night long. La! Alas, Brenvale's skill was all for naught, and the quest went all awrong. Oh! And now, you know the end of the... Sir Brenvale, the golden-voiced, the silver-tongued, once the head of the Order of the Albatross, at your service. Oh, of course they did, good chaps. And of course, I was one of the Order's most renowned composers. They no doubt wish to put my beautiful gilded lute in a place of honor. Ah, yes, I'm sure when I did not return, there were many a fair damsel who wept inconsolable tears. After all, once you hear my voice raised in song, to know the voice of Sir Brenvale the Golden was silenced. The tragedy. Of course, I commend your efforts. Please, let the rest of the Order know that I, Sir Brenvale the Golden, shall now depart this plane at last. My next performance will be in the great theaters of Aetherius. Adieu. Farewell, farewell.
Ah, fresh air. Those catacombs were musty as a crypt. Not quite how I imagined that would go. But we faced the Mad Duke, walked with the spirit of Sir Brenvale, and lived to tell the tale. I'm sure the Order will approve. Good, except for the make up a poem or sing a song about it part coming at the end of the tourney. That I'm less excited about. Let's keep moving. They're martial warriors, and excellent to horse. You might say the Iron Knot is the most traditional of the... Somewhere on these... Go on, I'll catch up with you at the castle's library. It's easy to find. Big room, full of books. Can't miss it.
With the Great Shackle destroyed, has the plane meld been stopped?
There you are. Let's see if we can unearth the past, shall we? People left books open all over the place. Oh, find anything promising? Let's chat. What was that one about? I found something about crop rotation. Exciting. The book was already open. I bet my old second Burjo offered the same advice he gave me to aspirant Langley. Drake! Let's see. You're right. Looks like the Duforts had a holdfast there, before they became nobles. Oh wait! I know this place. It's an old ruin off to the east. Aurelia and I used to pretend it was a witch's lair when we were young. Well, in my defense, I didn't know it was owned by the Duforts when we played there as kids. We also didn't go looking for knightly relics, which, now I wish there aren't really roads back there. But I remember a nice wide path we can take. I'll mark your map. Maybe if we hurry we can beat Burjo and Langley to the ruin. I'll see you there. I'm hoping we can beat the other aspirants to the hilt. Each of the captains have their own view on how to earn honor. I've heard stories that the Iron Knot's captain, Orlfeth, has slain trolls twice her size. So just swinging a sword won't impress her. She wants warriors that can think as well as fight. That's a funny thought. I don't think so, but we can ask her. The hilt itself is classic Iron Knot, a historic trophy from a mighty warrior who fell in single combat at a crucial battle, and changed history with his blade. What do you want? If you've not...
I love harvesting runestones.
Oh, Madame Valois, you're too late. I'm here first, you cannot pass through.
I guess what he said. Sorry, Isabel.
Hurry up, will you, lad? You and Isabel should just run along. Leave the tourney trials to aspirants of stature. Aspirants such as myself, of course. Are you going to lecture me, Langley Latart, about knightly behavior? I think not. I hold no grudge towards Isabel, but this is a competition, not a garden party. My second and I were here first. I would lose the advantage of having gotten here first. I see no reason to hinder my trial just because you think it would be nice of me to do so. Now, run along. I've work to do. Berjo, shove off then. This road is mine.
It's not worth a row with Langley over who can search the woods first. I'd best him easily, don't get me wrong. But blatant fighting between aspirants is frowned upon. Doesn't matter. Langley's first and last thoughts every day are about himself. He'll have Berjo working on moving those trees. Well, until he gets bored. So let's just go around. Remember, Aurelia and I used to play up by the ruin. There's a path around the rise to the east. Let's go carefully, though. We stopped playing up there when a Fawn warband moved in. Here it is, just like I remembered, by the curved tree. The ruin should be at the top of the rise.
In there like that.
This is it. The old stones, the locals call it. Let's find that hilt. That's it! Come on, let's get out of here before Langley and Berjo arrive.
Ah, careful there, Squire. Don't let the branches snap back. You've scratched my armor. That hilt must be around here somewhere. Get to work.
I'm not sure it's chivalrous of me. We did it! Redheart's hilt! As a knight aspirant, I know I should wish all of my competitors equally good luck. But Stendar, forgive me. I hope Langley gets bitten by every mosquito out here. I am. I assumed the Iron Knot trial would be all about swordplay and martial skill. Maybe horse riding. Horses and I don't like each other much. Anyway, I'm actually quite pleased how we did. Let's move on. All that's left is to present the trophies. Everyone will be gathered at the tourney pavilion. I'm excited. And nervous. I get a bit uncomfortable being the center of attention. Here, meet me on the jousting grounds. We've done it! All 3 trophies! Meet me near the tourney pavilion and we'll present them together.
me! I'd better go and take my place. I promised Mother I wouldn't embarrass her.
I think my nerves are as settled as they're going to be. I get more anxious doing formal things like this than I do fighting werewolves. Come on, Izzy. Deep breaths. We walk in, and the tourney herald announces us. I go forward and claim the trophies. As my second, you have the honor of displaying each of them as I call them out. Oh, and most important, don't start laughing when I recite a poem. It's tradition, Stendar help me. The Order of the Albatross requires it. Having you do this with me was more than helpful. You've been a calm and steady influence. A real partnership. Thank you. Let's just get through this last bit. Follow me. The sooner we start, the sooner it's over.
Lords and ladies, men and mer, a knight aspirant approaches the stage. Lady Isabelle Valois.
Let's get things started.
Proceed, madam. Your second may present any trophies you have won.
Together, we found the hilt of blade Redheart, lost in a battle long ago. This we present to the Order of the Iron Knot.
Well done, aspirant Valois.
To the Order of the Albatross, we present the gilded lute of Sir Brenvale.
Wonderful. Now, perhaps we could hear a poem or ditty about the adventure, aspirant.
The lute of gold did gather mold, lost for many years. I cannot lie, Brenvale did die, tripping on a tomb. And finally, we present the Oaken Order with the staff of the Wild Woods, after solving the wizard Erlebrew's
Aspirant
puzzle.
Valois, claiming all 3 trophies makes you the champion of the Sapphire Tourney. Come, you have earned a boon from your commander. From this day forward, you are a knight of High Isle. Be brave, courteous, loyal, and act with honor. Arise, Dame Isabelle Valois.
Lord Commander, I know what my boon will be. You may know as well. Please release Aurelia from the promise you made. Allow her to make her own choice to marry or not, as she sees fit.
I cannot deny such a selfless boon. Aurelia is free to make her own choices, within reason.
Oh, thank the 8.
Dame Isabelle, I am deeply impressed. I wish to speak with you and your second. Find me in my office at your convenience. You did well, Isabelle. It seems as though your second was a great boon to you today. Second, step forward. I'd like to speak to you. I've known Isabelle, Dame Isabelle, for many years. It was encouraging to see her push herself like this. I believe your able assistance may have also played a part? Well, I believe a knight should not be measured by the worth of their weapon, but by the allies they keep. The Knights of High Isle pride ourselves on our courtesy, and I personally always wish to honor good people. For acting as Dame Isabel's second during this year's Sapphire tourney, I want to formally extend my thanks, as both Knight Commander and as a mother.
What a day. I suppose that just shows what determination can get you. When the tourney began, Aurelia was in the depths of despair. I was struggling. And now look at us. Thank you. Take the credit you're due. You kept me focused, gave me a sounding board, and most importantly, I knew whatever happened, I wasn't alone. I can't tell you what that meant to me. I still can't get used to it. Dame Isabelle Valois. I dreamed about wearing shining armor, riding a valiant steed. So far it's been crypts, creatures, and a lot of running around. I've loved every moment. Except maybe the poetry. I've been thinking. I have a place here on High Isle, but I think I want to expand my horizons. I would like to see more, do more, learn more. If you could use a strong and loyal knight of High Isle in your travels, I'm up for anything. If you'll excuse me, I have to get my things. I want to get ready for adventure.
I think things have turned out just the way they should have. Just be ready to see Isabel less often, dear. A page has turned on our little story.
Might as well enjoy ourselves while we're here. Do you still prefer a Russafeld red, my lady?
That would be delightful. Thank you, Bacaro. Introduce yourself to the nobility, my friend. And remember, even the smallest detail could be the clue we seek.
Artemis, we aren't prepared for this.
If a few cultists are too much for you, best give up on the Spire. Consider that a lesson in keeping on guard.
I'm all right. Hurts. I hope you're... Pardon me if I... Hurts. But nothing...
Might as well enjoy ourselves while we're here. Do you still prefer a Russafeld Red, my lady?
That would be delightful. Thank you, Bacaro. Introduce yourself to the nobility, my friend. And remember, even the smallest detail could be the clue we seek.
Such a waste. I have little patience for the vanity of our noble houses on the best of days. Right now, I'm sure we all have better things we could be doing. I suspect you agree. You're the one assisting Lord Bacaro and Lady Arabelle, aren't you? I try to keep up on matters of state, but I confess, Alea told us all about you. I am Count de Mard, the Duchess's brother and court mage of House Dufort. Tell me, has your investigation uncovered news regarding a sudden storm that appeared recently? A hypothesis that matches my own. While my sister chases bandit knights across the countryside, I wonder about the druids who make the wild parts of High Isle their home. They have little love for civilized culture. They could be responsible. I don't think that storm was natural. The druids wield old magics and consort with spirits. It is well within their abilities to summon such a tempest. They mostly keep to themselves, but I suspect a ruse. Those are your culprits, mark my words. Magic is the legacy and heritage of the Breton people. Oh, I spent my time mastering the sword and knightly pursuits in my youth, but I believe that a true Breton must study both halves of our nature, and perhaps the ways of the druids, too. We Bretons trace our ancestry to Needs and Elves who intermingled during the early history of High Rock. Therefore, spellcraft is in our blood, and we all at least have some talent with magic. I find the subject fascinating and decided to embrace it. No, some have forgotten our traditions. Were it not for my talent, I doubt my sister would bother with a court mage. She sends me to look after Dufort interests in ports across Tamriel, rather than making full use of my arcane skills. A pity.
I was led to believe several royals might be here today. I suppose there's been some sort of delay.
I don't believe we've met. John Monard, a pleasure. My family is in shipping. We import goods from the mainland and send wares from the archipelago to markets in Tamriel. You're the investigator working with Lady Arabelle, aren't you? The Duchess explained everything to the court just before you arrived. If Lady Arabelle had consulted us, things would be different. We know what hazards await careless captains making the approach to High Isle. Her ships were simply unprepared. Don't tell me you buy into this Ascendant Order nonsense. A shadowy order of knights working to undermine the governments all across Tamriel? It's a ruse, my friend. A convenient fiction to protect the flawless name of House Dufort. Alea gained her station by currying favor in High Rock. Then she made a show of backing Lord Baccaro's steadfast society. But ruining the peace talks and getting heads of state killed? Blame must be placed. And she'd never fall on that sword herself. My family ruled the archipelago for generations, but the Duforts were never happy in our shadow. They spent years poisoning the court against us. And when my uncle Avreep quietly supported King Rancer a few years back, it paid off for them. The High King stripped my uncle of the ducal title and gave it to the Duforts. It was an outrage, really. We took no part in Rancer's war. At least the Duforts didn't get everything they wanted. We kept most of our holdings, and it eats at them. Goodness, no. That honor falls to my cousin Leonard, and he can have it. I wouldn't want the responsibility. No, I'm content managing our affairs here on High Isle. I leave the larger concerns of the business and house to my cousin, the Count.
Lord Baccaro has arrived, Duchess. He brought that Lady Arabelle with him.
Welcome to Castle Navir. You're Lady Arabelle's assistant, yes? Then you know these festivities are only for appearance's sake. Our guests of honor have yet to be found. Rest assured, I intend to bring the radicals behind this plot to justice. I'm aware of most things that happen on my isle. It's true we didn't connect reports of mysterious knights to the Ascendant Order until recently, but now that we know they are one and the same, we'll quickly bring them to heel. I suggest that you and Lady Arabelle leave this matter in our hands. My knights have already pinpointed several sites where the Ascendant Order gathers. They are scouring High Isle for our missing guests even as we speak. Which is why I prefer to handle this discreetly. I suspect House Mornard is behind this. They profit greatly from the war, and they still hold a grudge against my house for overshadowing their own. Frankly, I put nothing past them. One should be careful when talking about one's neighbors. Still, Count Mornard's dislike of my family is well known. Years ago, his father backed King Rancer of Shornhelm in his dispute with High King Emmerich. Emmerich did not forget it. He punished Avreep Mornard by stripping him of his ducal title and granting it to my father instead. The Mornards remain counts, with holdings and estates throughout the Isles. But the Duforts are now the Dukes of the Sisters. My family builds ships. Our shipyards construct the finest vessels to ply the western seas. In reward for our service, High King Emmerich granted us the Duchy of Sisters. We rule with care and compassion for all, even the Mornards.
Might I offer you a refreshment, friend? Didn't think I'd miss this little soiree, did you? Listen, I have it on good authority from a very accommodating chambermaid, in fact, that the Duchess has been looking into the Ascendant Order on her own. Well, I've got a plan. Not Jakarn, waiter, Fred. I'm in disguise. I told you about the chambermaid, right? She's one of the Duchess's personal assistants. Well, She told me where the Duchess keeps her sensitive documents, among other unmentionable items. Nobles and the upper staff never pay attention to the common help. I easily filched a key from that stuck-up steward Hercian. While I cause a distraction, you go take a look. Duchess Alea has a private study somewhere beyond the northeast door. I'll lure the guards away from the doors, but I'll need your help. Talk to one of the musicians and ask them to play the tune Stagger and Sway. It's an old favorite of mine. I'll take care of the rest.
Something you need, friend? I don't really take requests. Duchess Alea provided a list of approved songs she wanted performed. That one definitely isn't one of them. Not that she would notice. I don't think anyone is really listening to the music. It's good to see that someone appreciates the arts. All right then, you'll have your song.
Lords and ladies of the court, I dedicate this song and dance to the most buxom, curvaceous, voluptuous of all royals.
What are you doing, I wonder?
No one is beyond our reach. Stand aside and you will find a place in the new regime. Stand against us, and you will be brought to your knees.
Oh good, you're all right. It seems our adversary has decided to send a message to all those in attendance. Submit or die. A classic. Did you uncover anything useful before the Ascendant Magus made his entrance? I see. Clearly Duchess Alea's investigation hasn't gotten very far. Perhaps we can make better use of the leads she's been developing. But we have little time to waste. The Ascendant Magus demonstrated real power. Did you notice how the ground shook when he unleashed his storm? That's not a magic I've seen before. Somehow his storm magic is causing earthquakes. At least he hasn't recovered the Alliance leaders yet. We still have time. Because the Ascendant Magus has made a show of wanting us to fear him. Why would he care if he had what he wanted and couldn't be stopped? No. The royals elude him, somehow. But his magic... I wonder... Among the other problems plaguing High Isle, lava vents have begun to open in random locations. Between the ground shaking and the storms, could the Magus have stirred the volcano? Let's return to my manor so we can study these items more closely. Lord Bacaro, it may not be safe to return to Steadfast Manor.
Nonsense. I refuse to hide from these cretins. I'll double my guard, but they won't drive me from my home.
Very well. I'll check in with you later. Jakan, let's go. And put on a shirt, my dear.
What do you want?
What's going on? Oh, right. I'm learning a lot by being around you. I think Magister Irin would be proud. You want to talk about something?
Do you see that house above us? Mandrake Manor. Just like that place in the Investigator Vale story. People have been coming and going from there all.
Look! The Colossus!
These tremors grow more powerful. I heard that volcanic fissures are bursting open across the Isles.
First the storm, now this? It must be the work of the Ascendant Order.
You give them too much credit. An earthquake destroyed the Gonfalon Colossus.
Yes, an Ascendant earthquake. Trust Zaji, he knows.
I have visited High Isle several times over the years. Never have I seen the ground so restless. It is alarming. Could Zaji be right? Could the Ascendant Order be causing these tremors and eruptions? Storm and fire. I am troubled. If the Ascendant Magus can use powerful storm magic against his enemies, does he also command the tremors and volcanic fissures? It is maddening to even contemplate. Oh, Zaji is right to worry then. The loss of a monument might be the least of our concerns if the Ascendant Order can rouse the volcano. Lady Arabelle is inside, friend. Perhaps she'll know what to do.
Was it too much to hope that one of High Isle's nobles would openly admit their guilt? Ah, well. At least we can rule out Duchess Alea. Her notes make it clear she was caught off guard by the attack on the delegates' ships. And this map. Interesting. If this map really points to sites important to the Ascendant Order, then it's our best lead so far. Here, my dear, take this with my thanks. With your continued help, we'll find the royals and discover who's behind the Order before long. We must. The map you acquired provides a number of leads that might help us find High King Emmerich, Queen Irene, and Prince Ernskar. As the line from the Investigator Vale books reads, there's always another mystery. Let's get to it, my dear. One is clearly the Dufort shipyards, where the house constructs new vessels. Another is near Stonelaw Grove, home to a circle of friendly druids. The third appears to be a cave near Tor Drayak. A strange set of disparate locations indeed. I'll leave that to you. Investigate all three and report back here. I'll send Jakan to the docks, Captain Colleen to the cave, and Valesia to the grove. Rendezvous with them at each location and see what you can uncover about our rogue knights. We don't know what the Ascendant Order is doing out there, but hopefully something at one of those locations will lead us to our missing royals. But do be careful. I'd hate to see such a capable agent get hurt while assisting me. I did. I arrived just in time to see part of it collapse. As much as it saddens me to see the proud Baron Admiral fall, we have more pressing problems to deal with. I'll mourn the Colossus of Gonfalon Bay, after the Alliance leaders are safe. A review of the evidence. Excellent idea. Lord Bacaro is sponsoring peace talks here on High Isle. But the ships carrying High King Emmerich, Queen Irene, and Prince Ernskar never arrived. We suspect the Ascendant Order is somehow responsible. An excellent deduction. They also noticed that the Ascendant Magus and Lord spoke with the accents of Breton nobility. We believe a High Isle noble is funding this band of rogue knights. Then you recover this map from Castle Nevere. Precisely. Since we also know that the Ascendant Order is still looking for the missing royals, we'll use them to point us in the right direction. Investigate the 3 sites on the map and learn everything you can, my dear. Leave no stone unturned. I did.
You have to break away! Smells like trouble in here. I love it!
Gifts from the sea? Items dropped by people? Some claim.
Oh, unless you can cure this one's aching back. How...
grove sings of its suffering. Something terrible happened here.
You can hear it? Incredible. Ah, there you are. Hello, my friend. You're just in time. I met Ravana here just as she was starting to look into an arcane disturbance. It can't be a coincidence we're so close to one of the Ascendant Order sites marked on the Duchess's map. We're not sure yet. Based on everything that Lady Arabelle has told me, it's conceivable that the Ascendant Magus could be responsible for the disturbance here. Ravana is trying to locate its source. We could use your help. Ravana's ritual is somewhat involved, and I'd like to help her prepare. Can you gather some reagents that we'll need? She requires 3 blooming song flowers and an azure torchbug before we can begin. Blooming song flowers grow in the copse of trees just north of here. You'll know them by their distinct blue and purple petals. As for the torchbug, Ravana told me they congregate near the lake at the heart of the grove. They are quite beautiful. Traveler, I advise caution. A corruption has gripped Stonelore Grove, turning the wildlife aggressive and spreading an impurity unlike anything our circle has ever seen. Nature itself has fallen out of balance. That is what I hope to determine. The Archdruid sent me to investigate, but it was all I could do to avoid the once docile creatures of the grove. I found a few pockets of corruption that must be cleansed, but I need another druid to assist me. Really, I just need another set of hands. Here, let me mark your map. I'll cast the cleansing spell, then you burn out the impurity. That will temporarily restore the balance while we search for the source. The circle will compensate you, of course. Let's find a few concentrated areas of corruption. My spells will cleanse the impurities, then you burn them. Hopefully we can determine the source of the corruption before this malady spreads to the rest of the island. Just keep your guard up. It wasn't always. It used to be one of the safest locations on the island. In fact, my ancestors deemed the grove sacred when they first arrived. Now the corrupted wildlife attacks for no reason, and some of my fellow druids have been afflicted. Not much, unfortunately. I noticed its effects a short time ago. Usually docile creatures turning aggressive. A strange blight spreading through the plants and trees. I brought my concerns to the Archdruid, who initially thought I was overreacting. I'm not sure anyone has ever convinced Archdruid Agathe of anything. But she couldn't deny that something strange was happening in the grove. She ordered me to look into it and bring my findings back to the Circle Elders. Nothing. I haven't gone back yet. Until I determine if the corruption can be cleansed and find the source, I don't actually have anything new to report. Well, except just that. They have become as hostile as the rest of the afflicted wildlife. We may have to deal with any corrupted druids we meet. But with your help and the blessing of the true way, we'll soon have a solution to present to the Circle Elders. I suppose you would call it our doctrine, our religion. The true way represents a life guided by natural principles and the value and willfulness of nature. All of nature comes from Ifra, and the druids... Have you never heard of Ifra where you come from? The storyteller? The god of song and forest? The spirit of the now? Ifra formed the frame upon which nature was woven. He gave rise to the rules of life on Nirn. His way is the true way. I am a druid of the Stonelore Circle. I am a teacher, a healer, a counselor, as well as a steward of the natural world. I hear the voice of Ifra and his earthbones, and I do my best to be his advocate. Natural principles guide my every action. Oh, that was early in the First Era. After struggling against the Dureni hegemony, our ancestors came to this archipelago because of its connection to Ifra. When they arrived, our druidic circle deemed Stonelore Grove to be a sacred site. Not to be confused with our ritual circles, I mean the druids of the archipelago all belong to one of 3 distinct subgroups. You would probably call it a sect. Those who hold to the same circle share common beliefs and approaches to Ifra's will. The druids of this grove belong to the Stonelore Circle. We revere nature, but believe that all cultures have a place here. Some of the High Isle folk refer to us as the friendly druids. We rarely evangelize, letting our work speak for itself. You'll probably encounter the Eldertide Circle in your wanderings. Be careful. They are overtly hostile to the civilized residents of High Isle. As for the Firesong Circle, even I don't know much about them. They never leave the island of Iphelon. The corruption spreads quickly. Burn the corpse while I cast a cleansing spell.
Watching you harvest is exciting. I can't wait to see what you're going to do with that.
The corruption spreads throughout the grove. First the plants, then the animals, and now even some druids have been afflicted. Corrupted shrub. Burn it with cleansing fire after I cast my spell.
We are the spirit of the grove. We are the evergrowth, and this druid seeks to help, while another has unbalanced the true way. Aid us, mortal, before the nature that sustains this grove collapses.
How disconcerting. The Evergrowth hasn't spoken in generations. Pardon that display. I've never been forcibly taken over by a spirit of nature before. I wasn't sure if the corruption was connected to the Evergrowth, but now we know. And we know a druid is somehow involved. That troubles me. As I understand it, this grove was deemed sacred by the early druids, but it was also out of balance. They shaped Ifra's laws into a spirit and gave that spirit dominion over the grove. It recognized that I was trying to help it, and reached out. Yes, but is that druid acting out of malice or ignorance? Either way, if the Evergrowth succumbs, then the corruption will increase and spread out of control. We must take this news to the Circle Elders. Meet me in our village. Our village lies at the center of the grove. Once we get there, I will tell the Archdruid and the other elders what we learned. Not much to tell. Archdruid Agathy oversees our community here. A number of the village elders serve as her advisors and help train the younger aspirants and initiates in the true way. I'll introduce you to them once we get to the village. Archdruid, elders, this outsider helped me. And the Evergrowth, it spoke through me.
The spirit of the grove? It hasn't manifested like that in many generations. Are you sure?
Druid Audrine has never given us reason to doubt her observations. Tell us, child, what did the spirit say?
It warned us that nature was out of balance. That a druid was responsible for this trouble.
Out of balance? That explains the corruption. But to blame a druid, I cannot accept that without proof.
Then we will find that proof. Friend, meet me at the Circle's ritual site.
For some help gathering herbs, my back aches.
Over here, my friend. The Circle Elders cannot accept that one of our own may be responsible for this disaster. And I could hear the doubt in their voices concerning the Evergrowth. We need to prove that one of our circle has caused this unbalance. Help me investigate. Search the village for any signs that a druid is involved in the corruption. Look in the huts. Ask my fellow druids. Someone or something here will lead us to the source of the corruption. It has to. We'll wait and see if it communicates with us again. If not, I have an idea. But let us try to find the druid responsible for this situation first. I want to determine if this was an accident or a deliberate and reckless act.
The grove suffers.
Ah, I see that Druid Audrine has brought us a visitor. What can I do for you today, traveler? As a matter of fact, I noticed animals in the grove suffering from an affliction. I mentioned it to Archdruid Agathy, and she said she would look into it.
When I spoke to the Archdruid, it seemed like that was the first she heard of the corruption in the grove. There's Druid Milo. He has the eyes of an eagle. If anyone around here saw anything, it would be him.
Someone was playing with Daedric magic.
Good gathering, stranger. I do not recognize you, but I know Druid Audrine very well. What may I do for you this day? Nothing specific, I'm afraid. Just that the corrupted animals have made foraging in the grove dangerous. Oh, this might interest you. I felt a disturbance emanate from the wards in the Undergrove recently. Like a surge of power went through them. The island's volcanic vents create all sorts of underground spaces. The large cavern beneath us is the Undergrove. No one's allowed down there, not without the Archdruid's permission. The wards have something to do with the spirit of the grove. Yes, the Evergrowth. I'm surprised you know that ancient designation. I believe the wards reinforce the spirit's connection to the grove, but I'm not an expert on that. I can sense them, though. I have an affinity for such things.
The Undergrove? No one but the Archdruid ever goes down there. A ritual? That's proof that a druid caused this problem. Look, there's a mistake in the second line. They wrote remove instead of restore. Ritual fetish. It reeks of the same corruption spreading through the grove. I wonder who it belongs to. I think we have everything we need to convince the Archdruid. Let's review what we discovered. Definitely a druidic ritual fetish. I use such accoutrement when conducting my own rituals. But this one bears the taint that afflicts the grove. This fetish must have been used in the ritual that released the corruption. Whoever scrawled this did so in haste. They made an obvious mistake in the middle verse. It should say restore, but the author wrote down remove. That alone would have disastrous effects when the ritual was performed. Someone or something disturbed the wards in the Undergrove, probably when the ritual was performed. And it appears the Archdruid knew about the corruption before I mentioned it, but she acted like she knew nothing. I don't know all the details, but from what I've been taught, the Evergrowth resides in the Undergrove. The wards connect it to the grove, but also bind it. We need to talk to the Archdruid. She's usually in the Northern Grove this time of day. I'll meet you in the northern part of the grove. Archdruid? What?
Good eye.
Oh, no.
I didn't even see
She's
that
spreading the
runestone at
corruption.
The All-Wither. It's inside me, forcing me to do as it bids.
Where did she go?
Speak with me, mortal. The spirit of the grove has need of you. We are the Evergrowth. The one you sought. She carries the taint of our corruption. We remember her from the Undergrove. She performs a ritual that released this blight upon the land. The Archdruid sought to renew our bindings, but the ancient spells had already frayed. The part of us that is the All-Wither tricked her. She spoke the wrong word. Now, the All-Wither is free to spread its corruption, and the entire grove is in danger. The All-Wither is a part of us, a spirit of nature, called forth and made made manifest by the ancient druids. At this sacred grove, the laws of nature are malleable. To strengthen those laws, the druids bound us here. At one end, life. At the other, death. We are both life-nurturing growth and all-withering decay. That part of us is now free. And once the corruption fully takes hold, the Evergrowth will be gone. Only the All-Wither will remain. Will you help us? Tell the druids what we have said. They summoned and bound us in the past. They must be able to do so again. But urge them to hurry. The corruption consumes us. Soon, we shall not be able to stave off the All-Weather.
No matter how many times that happens, I am not sure I will ever get used to that. Return to the village, and tell the elders what the Evergrowth said. I'll join you momentarily. Elder Karik, we have troubling news concerning the Archdruid.
Slow down, Audrine. Tell us what happened.
The Evergrowth confirmed she performed the binding ritual, but she made a mistake. She released the All-Wither.
The Archdruid is responsible for the corruption? And she released the All-Wither? Oh, the Grove is doomed!
The Evergrowth is here and willing to help. In exchange for certain considerations. The Archdruid has returned to the Undergrove. Even now, the All-Wither compels her to speed up the spread of corruption so it can consume us. In our weakened state, we cannot stop the All-Wither from becoming the prominent spirit of the Grove. We can, but only if you and this druid break the remaining wards that bind us to this place. That will allow us to recover enough of our power to restore the balance and return the All-Wither to its proper location in the circle. The All-Wither moves quickly. Already we can feel ourselves weakening, losing cohesion. The remaining shreds of our bindings have been corrupted and add to our pain. If you set us free, we can pull energy from the uncorrupted grove and aid you. We are the spirit of the grove. We maintain the balance and keep the true way. We know our duty and our responsibility. Trust us. Together, we can end the corruption and return the grove to its natural state. But decide quickly. We do not have long.
Elders, allow us to enter the Undergrove and do as the Evergrowth asks. We can't let the All-Wither become the dominant spirit.
For all we know, this is exactly what the All-Wither wants us to do. But, yes, go. We'll do what we can up here to slow the spread of the corruption.
The spirit wants us to enter the Undergrove and release its bindings. It claims that will allow it to overcome the All-Wither. I sensed no duplicity while we were connected. I believe the Evergrowth spoke true of its intentions. The entrance I am aware of is in the northern part of the grove. I will meet you there. I have never been in the Undergrove, my friend. I have no idea what we might encounter down there, so be on your guard and ready for anything. We find the corrupted wards. I cleanse them and you break them, much as we did in the grove. After we deal with the initial wards, the Undergrove's central chamber should open, allowing us to destroy the last binding ward and set the spirit free. Magical wards bind the spirit to the grove. We need to find those wards, cleanse them, and destroy them. I'll cleanse the wards, then you destroy them.
Is the natural end of all things.
Time to bring the lightning!
Any additional wards out here. The central chamber should now be accessible. Let us go and set the spirit free. The final ward is somewhere in there. Find it and destroy it.
Are the all-wither. You cannot resist
You have destroyed the corrupted wards, and your strength returns. Balance shall be restored to the grove.
Let's return to the village and tell the elders the good news.
You did as we asked. We shall do the same. The All-Wither is back where it belongs, as a natural part of our circle. Balance has been restored.
Thank you, Spirit of the Grove. Adventurer, the Evergrowth wants to talk to you.
You and this druid have our thanks, mortal. You trusted us, and now the balance of nature has been restored. The Wither is a part of us, just as death is a part of life. Two parts of the same circle. They are back where they belong, in the natural order. And we are where we are needed, maintaining the balance of this sacred grove. There may still be corrupted wildlife about, but the druids can deal with that. Otherwise, know that the danger has passed. We mourn the loss of the Archdruid, but we are grateful for everything you did, mortal. May your harvest never falter.
The Evergrowth says the grove is safe now. It will continue to perform its sacred duty.
For now. I just hope we don't regret removing the binding wards. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Adventurer, may we speak? It pains me that we weren't able to save the Archdruid. It really appears that the Allwither took control of her without her consent or knowledge. At least we were able to restore the Evergrowth and stop the spread of corruption. Now? Now we try to return to normal. The Grove won't be the same without the Archdruid, but we'll make do. Of course, our relationship with the Evergrowth needs to change, as it isn't bound anymore. Oh, this is for you. From our circle, with thanks.
In light of all that has happened, Audrine, we would like to make you a Circle Elder and Mediator with the Evergrowth.
Druid Audrine? An elder? And mediator to the... Oh, very well.
An elder? And the mediator? I don't know what to say.
I hope you'll say yes. You proved yourself and demonstrated a singular rapport with the spirit of the Grove. Will you take on these responsibilities?
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Let's see. The flowers are in good condition, and the torchbug is alive and well. You treated nature with deep respect, and you have my thanks. Perhaps the Grove will repay us in kind. Let's begin. All things are connected. Spirits of nature reside in the swaying trees, the blooming flowers, the glittering torchbugs. It can be difficult to hear their songs, even for those of us who listen. But it's there. Can you hear it? The Grove is in pain, projecting a sorrow that's felt by everything nearby. This ritual will ask the rocks and the trees and the insects to simply share what they know, to lead us to the source of this disturbance. There, we might find answers. I perform the ritual, and we see where this trail leads. Stand back. This will only take a moment. Bones of the earth, spirits of the wild, sing unto your servants. Lead us to the source of your pain.
Look! The spirits have sent their messengers. Oh, how beautiful.
Follow the torchbugs, friend. They will lead you to the source of the disturbance. Druid circle. Here? How did I... A fire burns
Errant
deep
magic
beneath
still
High Isle.
lingers. A
The
powerful
druids
spell
of
was
old
cast here.
channeled its
Let's look
power.
around.
A dangerous temptation. That stone possessed ancient energy, but more akin to Valesia's magic than mine.
A cracked staff? That can occur when the caster can't contain the magic they attempt to wield. An enchanted lodestone, a cracked staff, and a smoking fissure. All left behind in a place once used by the ancient druids of the island. Curious. Well, the staff is obviously connected to Breton magecraft. Definitely not the implement of a druid. A cracked staff is a bad sign. Whatever they were trying to do here, they probably didn't get the result they were hoping for. I've used such stones before. They help focus magicka over a distance. They come in pairs, you see, forming a sympathetic link between 2 points. So this spell, whatever it was aimed at a point outside this circle. Oh? Fascinating. That makes sense. These lodestones can also be used to focus navigation spells. This is the truth of magic, after all. It is not inherently good or evil. It merely reflects what's in the heart of the caster. Whoever cast this ritual obviously attempted to tap into the deep magic of High Isle. The power beneath the surface here is very... seductive. But, as I am sure Ravana would tell you, using it and controlling it are not the same thing. Not with certainty, but I can make an educated guess. If the Ascendant Magus used this site to summon the storm that wrecked the Alliance ships, then obviously he lost control. The result wasn't what he expected, and now the Order is scrambling. Take the item back to Mandrake Manor, my friend. I can do a more thorough examination there. Ravana, if you'll allow me, I believe I can help you dispel the lingering disturbance.
My circle and I thank you, Valesia.
going to enchant something with that? Can I watch?
Ah, my butterfly found me a strong helper. If you're out here chasing butterflies, perhaps you have time to assist the druids of the Stone Lore Circle with a matter of great importance. I'm not as young as I used to be and could use your help. The volcano stirs, as if encouraged by an outside force. More importantly, the local volcanic vents, which normally lie dormant, are suddenly teeming with activity. I fear if I don't discover the cause, the destruction will be unimaginable. I need your help investigating the vents. I must commune with the spirits at each site to determine the best course of action. But catching those buggers requires someone spry, and the ritual is easier with 2 people. I'll pay if you'll help. The creatures you catch at each vent will be my conduit to their nature spirits. Then I'll need your help to perform the ritual. Now, let's hurry. Time is short, and we don't want to try and dance with lava. I said, as if encouraged by an outside force. It could be nothing more than the ramblings of an old druid. I just know that this activity is strange, but much of nature is thanks to Ifra and his earth bones. I am. The 2 of us would not be having such a friendly conversation were I part of the Eldertide Circle. Lucky you. Can't say much about the Fire Song Circle, however, and I don't care to. Oh, I knew you looked like the helpful sort. You have my thanks for assisting them. It's comforting to know you're a friend to my people. There are many who view druids with suspicion, or worse. Easily. I may be old, but I'm still a druid. I am an arbiter of Ifra's will, and therefore my magic helps me take care of and communicate with nature. I can make flowers grow beneath your feet if I wish, and I can summon spirits. Catching the creatures requires a swift hand, but I also need a bit of your own energy to do the ritual. Once you catch something, you'll need to release it toward me so I can draw on both your power and the creatures to communicate with the spirit. Ah, there's a quick critter now. Catch it, would you? Butterfly spirits are notoriously difficult to understand, but that was useful, I think. Let's continue. That was somewhat enlightening. Insect nature spirits are a peculiar kind. They always communicate so quickly, it's near impossible to parse. It's hard to put into words. Butterflies are fickle creatures, naturally, and even more so when distressed. But it at least communicated to me that the disturbance in the natural order happened quite recently. That's a fine specimen there. Grab him. Dragonflies are such poets. The spirit mentioned a high concentration of magicka here. Worrying. A concerning piece of information, but a piece all the same. Come, let us continue. Yes, though neither the spirit nor I are able to determine the source. But abundant magicka in any place that it doesn't belong is a problem. Another part of the puzzle.
What's inside? Come on, I'm so curious.
Grab that little one there. That'll do. Let's speak. Well, that was enlightening. I thank you for your help. You're quick on your feet. I remember when I could snatch an errant bug from the very sky. Oh, those were the days. Oh, my mind wanders. Let us focus on the task at hand. In a sense, natural spirits do not always communicate in ways that are clear, even to druids. We are but observers of Ifra's will. Still, based on what I've learned, I've developed a theory. One that confused. The spirits noticed an abundance of magic, both at the vents and within the volcano itself. My people are the only ones who can claim power over volcanic forces. But that doesn't make any sense. Why would anyone want to usher a volcano along? Not forever. But now that I know the nature of the activity, I can conduct a ritual to calm the vents. That way they won't be a danger to anyone. At least not for a while. But to do so, I need your young legs again. How do you feel about torch bugs? The ritual requires an attuned torch bug. I always carry a few on my person. Here, take him. Gently. I'll need you to toss the bright-bummed lad into the largest volcanic vent. It's just to the north. Don't worry, no harm will come to the torch bug.
You going to enchant something with that? Can I watch?
Quickly, this way! We're too late! I'll try to detain it! Don't reach the fissure! They'll overload it! I'll stabilize the vent while you use the torch bug to seal it. Let's get somewhere a bit safer. Well, that was invigorating. Thank you for your help. I wouldn't have been able to handle all of those creatures on my own. You are a marvel across the battlefield. You saved the day, my sprightly friend. It was. The volcanic vents have been contained, at least for now. The danger is past. The underlying mystery persists, however. Who would use magic to awaken the volcano, and why? I must ponder this. Here, your reward. I appreciate your help. You have my gratitude. Without your help, I would never have discovered how to quell the volcanic vents. Perhaps in time I will puzzle out how exactly they became active again in the first place. But for now, I am content to merely thwart disaster. I intend to determine the cause of this new volcanic activity to the best of my ability. Thanks to you, I am no longer in danger of drowning in a molten wave of Ifra's wrath. Now, I can take my time with my investigation. Were it not for the excess of magic, I would think it nothing more than an example of Ifra's uncompromising and intractable will. But there is more to this. Dread brews in my stomach like a terrible storm. Or perhaps that's just gas. Who can say?
Ah, you made it. Good. I think I found something. Hey, so I did some skulking around while I was waiting for you. Remember Dockmaster Arnold, the slimy skeever who sold out our ships to the Ascendant Order? Word on the docks is he's here. Sounds like his bosses aren't happy with him either. The Far Dock. It's not a House du Fort ship out there. Assuming Arnold's a prisoner, that's where I'd stash him. If we want to talk to him, we better act now. I don't think the good Dockmaster's long for this world. Normally, House du Fort Knights would be all over the place, but I haven't seen a one. Ascendant Order, though. That's a different story. They're guarding the docks between us and that ship. Whoever they paid to get rid of the Knights hit the jackpot. Let's just make our way to that ship and see if the Dockmaster is aboard. I'll watch your back. Go get him.
I'm gonna show off.
You can handle this, right? You got this, but I'm here if you need me.
Go get him.
I hope I
You
help.
can handle this, right?
No more, please!
I'll watch the door.
You were at the docks with Lady Arabelle. I thought the Ascended Magus had returned. He didn't need tools to torture me, not with his magic. The pain, the fire, it was inside my skin. Get me out of here, please! You're right. I let the gold blind me. But look, I knew nothing about special cargo, or important passengers, or Amanos, or any of it. Even Lady Arabelle said the ships were just carrying supplies vital for Lord Baccaro's conference. I gave the Ascended Magus a list of names. Folks he could trust to keep quiet. Muscle to collect the goods when the ships ran aground. But it was all a sham. They captured the captains, then gave orders to kill anyone else who washed ashore. Are you serious? He didn't trust me. I never got a real name or saw his face. But he's rich, I can tell you that much. Like nobility rich. Royal rich. You can smell it on them, you know? All the perfumes and soaps and fancy clothes. It's an island to the north. A jungle rock where they send prisoners to disappear. The Magus gave orders to look for someone on Amanos. Whoever he's searching for, he moved his knights from the shallows to there. That's all I know. Cut me free! Oh, thank you. I'll find a way to make up for this. I swear it.
Nice work. I wouldn't have been so merciful, but at least we know more than we did. I'll see you back at the manor.
You were amazing! Anyone else?
So,
Oh,
you chose to be
great.
the most
That's
offensive
just embarrassing.
spellcaster possible. Leave!
There was no need for that.
race?